Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing well. So in our last video, we have seen that script type. So what are the script type and what are the use cases and how what are the script header, so it is script header and the script version and how it become changes keep changing that version. So divide is. So now in today's video, we are going to see that script modules. So what are the mandatory or required module? We should know that before writing any script. So first we will know that we'll go through each of the module. So let's start. So when we are saying about that, talking about that script module, so what are the module we have to use after the header of the script. So in the header, if we're talking about that, so we have to define that script API version and a script type. So then after that, we have to define that module. So what are the core modules we have to use for any, even we are writing any simple or basic script, then also we need some modules. So record module, so that is a mandatory thing that will fetch the record or detect the record or load that will be useful to load the record when you are using any script. Then we have to define this kind of module. So these are that some important modules, so we have in the daily basis we have to use that. So when we are trying to write any script and we can load anything data, or we can load any record, or we can fetch any field value, before that we have to define that module. So in that module we have to, after defining that module, we can get the access and we can load the record. So these are the few modules I have just listed on the here. So we'll go through one by one. So these are the core module overview. First we need to and slash record. So this module will basically handle that record, manage the record. So and the search and slash search, these are the one of the important module when we are trying to load that save search functionality in the script. Then we have to use a search module. So create ad hoc search or fetch the results. Even we are trying to load that search by using a internal ID, then also we have to define that search module. So in the when we are talking about the format, so basically it is used when we are trying to do anything with the date format, a date value in that script, and for example, we are trying to get the date and we need to format within the script, and we are trying to update anywhere. So then we have to first define that format, a date format module. Without defining, if we are not defining that and we are trying to access from anywhere, then it will throw an error. So that format is not defined like that, we'll get an error. So log and slash log, so logging information for debugging and monitoring the script. So when we are writing any first script, and that is important to log that, debug that script, so to avoid any mistakes or any error. So once we'll log that, so we'll get to know that what are the error we are getting, or any wrong things happen in that script, or any wrong information passed to that script. So for that, to avoid that error before moving to production or releasing the script, first we need to test thoroughly. So for that we have to debug the script. So for debugging we can use and slash log. So this is the one of the modules to use that debugging the script. And or we can also use a script debugger. They see that another script debugger environment account. So here also we can debug the script. So this is the easy thing. So here in the execution log itself, it will show the result. So n slash runtime, this is another module. So is access script context and runtime data. So this script will so this module will access that script at the context, and it will fetch the runtime data. Yeah, runtime access script will access script context and runtime data. So it will fetch the current data from the script recorder, any current record. So we are using when we are using a runtime module. So it since it will give the current record data. So and slash UI slash server widget. So UI in the sense user interface, building custom Suitelet or Suitelet page that will be use that is this module can be using to build our custom UI by using Suitelet, or we can generate the form or modifying the UI. So that is the use of that server widget module. So and slash https, so interact with the web services. For example, we are doing some integration things by using the script, then we can use that by using web services. And slash file, it will create a file, load the file, copy the file, delete the file, save the file. So this is the importance of that file module. So we can use to generate or load or delete or save the files by using a file module. So and slash email, so it will basically and slash email is, this is one of the important module also. So whenever we are sending any due information, due invoices, then we have to send use an email module. So by using email module, we can send that reminder to the customer. So for the due of that remaining due invoices, so anywhere to the system, through the system also, and the script owner also, it will send that email notification. So sending the email notification, we have to use that email function module. So and task module, so queue and monitoring the background tasks. So for example, we are creating that calling that one script to another script, so we can use that create the task module, and so it will queue and it will call. So URL module, so create link or to Suitelet record and other script page, NetSuite pages. And error module, so handle and throw error in the script. So when you are using error module, so it will display the error if any error occurs in the script. So dialog module, so this is also like displaying that the prompt message, prompt to the user, or display the message to the user. And cache, improve the performance by catching frequently accessed data. So in the config module, so read and update company preferences and configuration and many more. So we have a lot of module. So in that module, we have a different kind of action we can perform by using that module. So now, these are that basic some important modules. So we have highlighted here. So if you need anything, then just go to NetSuite and Help Center and search for NetSuite script. So we have to go to is NetSuite and go to Help Center. Here we can search for an NetSuite script module. So it will give that list of modules. So we can review and we can understand and we can read and explore all these modules. So here we need to type here. So here we can get that all these modules. So for example, these are the some kind of modules. So each and every module we can find here. So here if you'll see here, these all are comes under modules. So these are all are modules supported in the NetSuite. So we can go one by one and explore all those. So these are the modules. So we have to learn all the things. So we need to know if we are a developer, then we have to keep the information with the updated information with us. So we have to explore all these like modules, so one by one. So that is that things we have to know that. So what are the use of that module? So if we're talking about that use of module, so purpose, for example, and slash record. So this is the one of the important module. And what is the purpose of that module? So work with NetSuite record, like it will helpful to help it will be using while creating a loading, copy, or delete, or save the record. Managing a standard and custom records also it's supported. So for example, record.create, record.load. For example, we are generating any invoice record, so or customer record, so we can use that module like as a record.create. Then we have to define that what are the required things, like we need to provide that id, we need to provide that type. So these are the things we have to define that. So if we are loading in any record, so we have to use that module, right? Record.load. Then we have to define what are the type of record, what are the id, internal id of that record. So based on that we can load that record and we can access all this in related information to that record, particular record. So based on that we have to define that. Search module is that also one of the important modules. So while we are developing a script, and when we require that to export that save search report data in the script, so then we have to define that. So what is the user, like perform searches on the record, so it will fetch that bunch of record, bulk of records at a time. So execute save search, create ad hoc, or fetch result. So search dot create or search dot load, so we can load and we can create a search. So recommended things is always try to create a search. So for example, we are using the save search and load, so these all things will be work same. But we don't know that in the future it might be a somebody search dot, if we are using a search dot load, so it will work also same, it will give also the same result. But who knows that in the future somebody has deleted that search, then how we can go that. So script will throw an error because search will not exist and no longer in the system, so script will not able to fetch that search. Because when we are loading, so we need to provide the search id. So if that search is deleted, then that search can't load. So that is the reason we are trying to always we are trying to use search dot create. So it will not required, that is not required for search dot load module. So if the search is not exist in the system, then also it's not a problem. So it will handle, because we are creating the save search script in that script backend only. So that is not relevant to that search ui search. So next module is the log. So purpose is log, the execution log. So we have to know that what are the result, what are we are implementing, what are we are getting. If any error coming, then how to fix that. So based on that, we can debug that script, and we can use log dot debug, and then the script will be improved. So uses logging information for the debugging and monitoring. So for example, log.debug, log.error. So these are the things we have to use while developing the script. So server widgets a purpose, create and manage UI components like forms, fields, sublist, tabs. We can create all those custom things. So build uses main use of that this module. So like building custom suite later, modifying the UI. For example, server widget dot create form. So based on that, we can create that custom form field sub list, everything. So we can do that in that way. The next module is runtime module, and the purpose of that runtime module is like information like current user. We can get the script parameter and script execution context. Uses simple, right? Retrieve information about that current script execution. And for if we talk about the example, runtime dot get current script, so it will get that give that current users information. And the format purpose is like simple format and pass the date, currency, and number values. Users ensure consistent data formatting. Example, date dot format, format dot parse. We can use that raw data to format by using format dot parse. And the next module is like a file purpose, work with file in the NetSuite file cabinet, uses create, load, copy, delete, and save the files. And this is that example, like file dot create, we can use file dot load to load the file, delete the file dot delete. For example, these are the some examples. So in the upcoming videos, we'll explore and we'll learn each and everything. So one is one by one. So that's and what are the next module like and slash https. So purpose make HTTP request. In the HTTP request, we have a method like get, post, put, and delete. So what is the use of each method? So we will get that when we are retrieving on the data, any data from that context. Like we can use that in the get function, get method, and we are trying to display in that UI. So we can use a post request to send the data. So these are the things we have to explore each and everything in upcoming videos. So users interact with the external web services and APIs. Mainly these kinds of things, methods are using in that API or external system to integrate with the external system. So HTTP get, HTTP post. So these are the two important main aspects. So and slash email. This is one of the module purpose. What is sending the emails from a script, uses automation, email notification, and communication with the client customers. Email.sent. This is the example. Task module purpose manage asynchronous task like map, reduce, schedule, script, and workflow action. So these are that use of task module, queue and monitor background task. For example, task.create, task.submit. These are the core function method of that task module. So cache data in memory for quick access, uses improved performance by caching frequently accessed data. And cache dot get cache, so it will clear the cache memory. And next is URL module. So purpose generate URL for the NetSuite page, uses create links to Suitelet record and other NetSuite pages. And dialog method, dialog module. So it will create and display dialog boxes in the UI, display message or prompt to message to the user. Dialog.alert, in the sense we can say that this is an alert message. Next module is NetSuite config or n/config. So purpose access and manage configuration setting, uses read and update company preferences and configuration. For example, config.load, we can use this function to load that config record and do the configuration. So record transfer, this is the one of the things. So we can use to transfer one record to another record type. Like for example, we have invoice. So when we need to raise a uh, credit memo, I guess, then we can use that invoice to transfer to the credit memo. Instead of creating that new credit memo, we can use transfer module to transfer invoice to the credit memo the same information. So uses convert record like sales order to the invoice or invoice to that credit memo. These kind of things, activities we can do within this module. So next module is and/error. Purpose create and throw the custom errors, handle and throw the errors in the script. And example error.create. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. We have seen each module type and use of that module. So in our next video we are going to implement our first script, and we'll start exploring the script in the details. So in our next video we'll learn about that, write our very first script. So in that script we will understand each and everything in detail. So please wait and come again. And thank you for watching my YouTube video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please comment, add your comment, and hit the bell icon button, and keep watching. Thank you. Bye bye.